What's going on, guys? This is Captain Trey Dietz from Sarasota, Florida. I want to take a minute today to teach you guys how to catch snook off the beach. This is not the only way you can do it. This is just how I do it, and this is a really effective way to do it. So that being said, the first thing you guys want to start off with is usually around a 3000 series reel. It doesn't have to be a 3000 series reel. That's what I use. And I pair that onto a 7-foot Stellar Stellar Light rod. That's a 7-foot, and the action that I like to use is an 8 to 17 pound test line. To each his own. You guys got to get in there, feel a rod, see what you guys like in your hand. It's always going to change for every person. So go pick out a rod that you like and pair that up with some nice braid line. I like to use 15-pound test, and I put a 2/0 Mu2 light circle hook on there. Typically it's a 2/0. Sometimes I'll go down to about a 1/0 or a number 1 or maybe a number 2. And the leader size may actually change depending on the clarity of the water and the stinginess of that fish. So that being said, today we're using live bait. I'm going to use scaled sardines. Some people call it white bait. There's 100 different names for it. Either way, we're using white bait today, or scaled sardines, or minnows, whatever you guys want to call them. That's what we're using today. And here's what we're going to do. One thing you guys are going to look forward to is going out and searching for some structure or some type of current break or what they call an eddy near passes or off the beach. If you guys got public beaches, you can come down. You guys are going to find some type of structure for these fish to hang around. That's usually a dead giveaway for a spot for snook to hang out. You'll also find redfish, and maybe some trout, pompano, things of that nature. But this is a snook video, so I'm going to teach you guys about snook fishing. I don't know if you guys just saw that. There's some mullet swimming around right there. It's another good sign. If there's big snook hanging around, they're going to eat those things. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab myself a bat full of chum, and I'm going to throw it out there. And if you do it properly, and if there is snook there that want to eat, you will see them strike. Now once you see those strikes, that's your telltale sign, okay, we need to go get a bait on. Let's go cast out there and see if we can catch one of these things. So the way I rig these sardines is I'm going to take this Mu2 light circle hook, and I'm going to put it through that little clear spot there. If you put it through right, it should look like that. That's how I like to rig them. Sometimes I'll rig it through the belly. One thing you're going to make sure, you want to make sure, is that you keep that bait down in the water, and that keeps that bait, oh goodness gracious, just got bit by a fish just sitting in the water. But you want to keep that bait in the water, keep it nice and lively, so when you throw it up in there to those snook, they'll notice it and go after it and get it. So let's go ahead and throw a bait up in there and see if we can get it on video. Now some of you guys might be asking, what is a chum bat? I don't know what a chum bat is. Well, all a chum bat is very simply put, it's a wiffle ball bat, cut off the end. You can shove a ping pong ball down in it, you can shove a popping cork down in it, or some type of wine cork or something that just keeps the bait from going down into this handle section here. This is a Joyfish bait chum bat. You can buy these usually at any tackle shop here in Florida. You can make one, very simple. This is a definite need if you guys want to have your shoulder, if you don't want to throw your shoulder out, you're going to need one of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back to this back here. I'm going to fill this sucker up with some, hold on here. I'm going to take a handful of sardines, and they're going to be, some people squeeze them. I'm not a big person on squeezing them. You don't have to. All I do is I throw them down in there and get them. So what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to come out here and I'm going to throw them along these rocks here. Excuse me, guys. I'm doing this one-handed, so just bear with me. But now that you got your bait all loaded up in your chum bat, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and throw some of those out there as far as you can get them. I like to try to get them right on that edge. And that little pop right there that you guys just saw is what we were going after when we were out here like that. That's a snook popping. So that's a very good sign that there's some snook here. There's another one there. So bear with me. I'm going to go get a bait on my line and cast out there. So the way I rig these sardines is I'm going to take this Mu2 light circle hook, and I'm going to put it through that little clear spot there. If you put it through right, it should look like that. That's how I like to rig them. Sometimes I'll rig it through the belly. One thing you're going to make sure, you want to make sure, is that you keep that bait down in the water, and that keeps that bait, oh Goodness gracious, just got bit by a fish just sitting in the water. But you want to keep that bait in the water, keep it nice and lively, so when you throw it up in there to the snook, they'll notice it and go after it and get it. So let's go ahead and throw a bait up in there and see if we can get it on video. Go ahead and rig the bait up on there. It's kind of tough to do this one-handed, so bear with me. Got some ladyfish down there, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast it right on that edge like that, and I'm just going to let it sit there after I threw that chum in there. Oop, and I already got a fish on, so bear with me while I reel this in. So now that I've gone ahead and fought this fish, bear with me here. I want to go ahead and land this thing gently as possible. This is actually a pretty dark colored fish for being out here on the beach. Typically when they're out here on the beach, they'll be really white. Yeah, that's a snook. That's what we were after today. When I'm releasing these fish, what I like to do, I like to hold them a little bit. This one's ready to go. But I also like to, that's kind of cool. They suck on your thumb like a baby. One thing I like to make sure is that there's no dolphins around. I'll just take a quick little peek around and make sure there's no dolphins. These things are little treats for dolphins, so if you can help keep them guys alive, there you go, take off nice and healthy. Keep them guys alive for the next generation, for them to spawn and catch fish for our grandchildren and their grandchildren after. That's what we kind of try to do. So now that I've walked you guys through on how to catch a snook off the beach here and how to locate them, one thing you guys want to check after you guys have landed a snook is the condition of your leader line. You may or may not have to retie. This one's good enough for another fish. I'm going to go ahead and leave it. But you may want to retie if you notice that it's a little chafed up. That being said, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully you guys can take something from that. And tight lines, guys.